Good morning, students. Today we will continue chapter 13, page number 178. What does disease look like? So, students, whenever there is a disease in a body, there are certain changes which take place in a body. Our systems of the body, various systems of the body change, and these changes give rise to symptoms, or there are signs of disease. For example, you have headache, or you vomit, or you have cough or fever. In daily routine we get cut, but when there is wound with pus. So these are few symptoms which tell us which indicate that there may be a disease. But what is that disease? We don't know. So because of these signs of disease, symptoms of disease, we visit what? We visit whom? We visit a doctor. Right? So the doctor asks for the signs and the symptoms. After checking the symptoms, the doctor gives us medicine for a prescribed period for 3 days or 5 days, depending upon the course. But even if it is not cured, the symptoms still persist in your body. Still after taking medicine you are having cough, or you are having fever, or headache is not going off, then again doctor asks for what? Diagnostic, that is laboratory tests. Laboratory or diagnostic test means blood test, urine test, stool test. And after getting the report, then doctor confirms about the disease. Right? And then medicines are given related to that particular disease. Right? So signs and the symptoms, they play a very important role. They indicate that there is a disease, may or may not, because sometimes you have headache, right? So the headache may be because of some brain problem, but the headache may be because of just a stress, or late night movie, or book reading, right? So but if it is mixed with, or if you have any other symptom along with it, then you visit the doctor. It is not that you have a headache and then you run to a doctor. No. When you have headache, or you vomit also, you have fever also, and then you visit a doctor. And for confirmation, he asks for laboratory test. Right, students? Now the next topic is acute and chronic disease. As you can see, I have marked, it is an important part. Acute and chronic disease. You have to do the differences and definitions along with the example, right? So what is acute disease? Acute, which lasts for diseases which last for a short period of a time, very short, maybe for few days, 3 days, 5 days, only short period of time. And chronic, which lasts for long period of time, and sometime as much as a lifetime, that is throughout the life you suffer from that disease. This is chronic disease. So on the basis of duration, you can tell that acute, that we face in our daily routine, the most common example is, and you all have faced, that is common cold. You all, right? So when you catch common cold, you are not so worried, you are not so stressed or tense, because it is just an acute disease which lasts for a short period of time and you are treated, you are cured. But a chronic disease lasts for a long period of time. For example, it is a disease elephantiasis. You might have heard this. It is known as elephantiasis because the foot gets swollen like an elephant and very painful. Or it may be a diabetes or a cancer, right? Or AIDS, a acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. So all these diseases are chronic disease which last for a long period of time. So student, now mark first point of the differences, or you can say the definition. First point I have marked, some diseases last for only very short period of time and are called acute disease, for example common cold. And some ailments mean diseases can last for a long time, for example it is elephantiasis, very painful disease, right? Now the second point, first you mark, an acute disease which is over very soon will do not have time to cause major effect on our general health, while a chronic disease, it means acute disease lasts for a short period of time, so it will not show major impact effect on a body. But the chronic disease lasts for a long period of time, so it hampers, affects, disturbs our general health. Not only that particular organ is disturbed, damaged or affected, but it affects the general overall health of the body, because the disease remains in the body for a long period or sometime for a lifetime, right? Then third point, since it is acute, is for a short period of time, so after that disease is over, you can easily go to your school or attend your job. You don't feel so tired, weak, right? But in chronic, since it lasts for a long period of time or a lifetime, it is very difficult to lead a normal life in a society, whether it is to attend a school, do a learning process or do a job, because it has a long term impact on our body, right? So students, you can mark third point. We may not go to school for a few days because of acute disease, but for a chronic disease it will be difficult to follow what is being taught, reduce our ability to learn. It has a prolonged general poor health because of chronic disease, drastic long term effect, very harmful for a body. You can add one more point. We do not lose weight, we do not become short of breath because of acute disease. But in case of chronic disease, for example, there is tuberculosis, right? So tuberculosis makes our lungs weak for future also. So we can lose weight or we feel tired all the time. So by these points, it is clear to all of you that acute has no drastic effect on a body, but chronic causes drastic long-term effects on a body, which may make the patient or a diseased person to lead a normal life throughout the life, right? Now the next topic is causes of disease. Next heading, causes of disease, or you can write levels of disease. Questions are of two forms, but answer is same. What are the causes of disease or what are the levels of disease? Means if some child falls sick, for example, there is a baby who falls sick, like the baby is having loose motion. So the first thing which come to the cause is some pathogen, microbe, has entered the body of the baby. As a result, the baby has fallen sick. So the first level of disease is, that is the immediate cause, means the first level, immediate cause is pathogen. I hope you all know what are pathogen. They are the disease causing microbes, microorganism. So when pathogen enter a body, immediately we fall sick. So that is the first level. So you can mark the immediate cause of the disease is a pathogen or microorganism. Right? Then second point is the second level of disease, next para, sixth line, lack of good nourishment. That is the second point. For example, the child is not getting good nourishment. As a result, his body becomes weak and he is more prone to microbe. Right? That is why it is said that everyone, especially you students, you all are in growing stage, you all should take good diet, good nourished diet, so that your body becomes strong and you are not affected by any pathogen. Right? Like nowadays because of COVID-19, people, mainly those who have weak immunity or those who already have some body ailment, they are more prone to that infection. So you have to make your system strong, and that the first point for this is to take good diet. So lack of nourishment may make the baby weak. As a result, he or she is immediately affected by the microbe. Right? Then there are genetic differences also, some genetic changes, like there are many families in the colony but that child is only falling sick again and again, maybe because of the genetic differences. Right? Then third point, you can mark third point, poverty, not able to get proper food, or lack of public services. Lack of public services. So second point is lack of good nourishment, good diet, and last third point is poverty or lack of public services. Public services means where the hygienic condition, personal and community hygiene is not maintained. The person, the families living there, they are more prone to pathogen infection. If sewage is not properly disposed, it is open, stagnant water is there, so families are more prone to pathogen. So that is third point, poverty or lack of public services, third level causes of the disease. Thank you students. Take care.